Damn.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to episode 306. 306, Jesus.
Welcome.
Of Comic Book Queers. I'm EvilJeff, and with us here is...
EvilJeff.
Yes. Yes, you're my doppelganger. You're good Jeff, then.
I mean, I am the closest thing to a doppelganger that you probably have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think the closest was when I was dating Good Jeff. Like, my name came from this podcast because I was dating a Good Jeff. I never took it personally that everyone decided then that I would be Evil Jeff.
I mean, it was a very Magneto move. Like, everybody called you Evil Jeff to actually force Good Jeff into a framework of good behavior. I
think I did not because I always felt I was a Slytherin, you know? I always identified with the villains. Yeah. Like, so I like the idea of being a villain, but deep down I'm a big old softie.
Same. That's why we like that character. That's why we like the Emma Frost archetype. That's like ice cold bitch on the outside, but inside.
And then the complete opposite is my husband. Joe is a Scorpio, and everyone's like, how are you a Scorpio? You're the sweetest person ever. I'm like, okay, girl. Nuh-uh. He's a little rapscallion, he is.
He's a little rapscallion.
All right.
I felt it firsthand. He's wronged me so many times.
He slapped you in the face. Have you ever been slapped?
No.
Really? Have you ever had a drink thrown in your face?
No.
I have always, it's been a dream of mine to throw a drink in somebody's face. And I'm not going to just do it just because, but it has to be like for just cause.
Act it out. Give me your the ultimate throwing a drink in someone's face.
I think someone would come up to my husband and just be like, hey, get out of here, you piece of shit. And I'd be like, don't you talk to him like that. I'll talk to him however I want, faggot. And then I'll just go, and then throw the drink in his face. Yeah.
Would you make that noise?
Yeah, I would add the whoosh sound to it.
He'd be like, what noise are you making? Why am I so bad?
But I found out it's a bad idea because my old grad professor who I became friends with in Chicago, he loved to throw drinks in people's faces. Like, literally, someone could be like, hey, you're in my way.
You can't do that.
Well, here's what happened.
Oh, God. One
day, a guy spilled his drink, and he goes, you need to buy me another drink. And he's like, I got a martini. And then the guy comes back with a vodka soda or something. And he's like, this wasn't my drink. And the guy goes, you'll drink what? And then so he's holding the drink, and the guy reaches into the drink and goes, you'll drink whatever the fuck I get you. And splashed it in his face. And then he went to throw the drink in his face, but he was so close that the drink shattered in the person's face. And then he started bleeding, and then he got arrested.
Oh my God, that is
so you have to be careful.
The grifters.
And then when he was telling me the story, and then he showed me the social media of the person it was, I had dated him.
Oh God.
And then I was like, yeah, he's an asshole.
Okay.
He totally deserved it.
Perfect. He deserved it.
Oh my God. So we're talking a lot. It's 4th of July happened. Did you have a good 4th of July?
No, it's my least favorite holiday.
Because America?
I just always have hated the aesthetic, the vibe. It's not because now it's because of America, but back when we were like naive and still thought America was a good country, it is. But when we were naive to its problems, its many deep-rooted systemic problems, we still hated fireworks, the food, the heat.
What's wrong with the food?
I just wasn't.
You don't like a hot dog or a hamburger?
I do, but it's the kind of thing that everybody overhypes the elements of the 4th of July, like hot dogs, like fireworks, and then when you experience them, you're like, okay.
I'm going to tell you this. This was a rarity because it was on Thursday. I got Thursday and Friday off. And so I was like, USA, USA. Like, it was like, wait, I get 2 days off because of America? Woo!
Because of your company, not because of America.
Well, but...
It's the private sector. The private sector is the one that rewarded you with an extra day off.
Well, with Project 2025 coming, the government workers are going to be in for a treat.
A real treat. Well, they won't have a job because there won't be any government.
Yeah, but I unfortunately, I think I partied a little too hard on 4th of July, and then I've had a cold the whole weekend, so I couldn't. I got
COVID.
No, you did not.
After Pride.
Oh, after Pride.
The Tuesday after Pride, I woke up with COVID, and then was out Tuesday, Wednesday, out, and then Thursday, 4th of July, snapped back to life and had my weekend.
Yeah, everybody's sick right now, I'm telling you.
Everybody's sick.
I like it when sicknesses happen in the winter. The summer, you're supposed to be having fun. COVID doesn't care if it's winter or summer. It's bullshit.
Have you ever been congested in the summer?
I have allergies, so I'm kind of congested all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, being sick in the summer, there's something about, I have a cold, I'm going to bundle up. There's snow outside. I'm going to bundle up, put on a movie, drink a bunch of NyQuil until I pass out. When you're in the blazing heat and then the air conditioning is blasting, and then you're sick, it's the worst.
Sweating, it's horrible.
Fuck that.
No, it's horrible.
Do you have things that you want to bitch about besides 4th of July?
I have been so lately.
Oh, really? Let's see how you are. So what?
And he was all like, and then she was all like, and then they were all like, and I was all like, what?
And welcome to our section, and I was all like, where we just kind of
and I was all like,
bitch about stuff. Who's first? I didn't do these slides. I don't know who's first.
Oh, we only have one topic.
Is it just me? Oh, we're going to talk about it together. Okay. I don't like Star Wars. I'm going to tell you right now, I never got into Star Wars. My sister was obsessed with Star Wars, so I thought it wasn't cool.
As a kid,
as a kid, I could not give a crap.
Empire of the Jedi, you didn't
care
about
and so then I got into college, and then the first one came out. I saw Jar Jar Binks, and I was like, nope, don't like any of this.
Right.
And my partner, Joe, he is obsessed with Star Wars, but even he has been all of the TV shows, The Mandalorian, all those, he's like, they're kind of shit. But he really liked the one that just came out. Not the one that's out right now. But the one before that. What was the one before that with the people from Rogue One? What was that one called?
Yeah.
Why can't I think of anything?
I can't.
Anyway.
Andor.
He loved Andor, so he started watching The Acolyte. And he really likes it. And I will just be in the room. He's like, do you want to watch this? And I'm like, no, it's fine. But then this motherfucker shows up. I'm walking, doing chores. He's watching it. I fucking see this. Manny Jacinto from The Good Place. And I will tell you, if you go back in the archives, I 100% know there was an episode where we were like, who are the hottest people that you want to fuck right now? And I was like, Jason Mendoza from The Good Place. I want him inside me because there's something about
his body.
Him, but also a himbo. Someone who's just really hot, but really stupid. What?
Especially if they're from Jacksonville, Florida. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. And then Joe's family's from Jacksonville, Florida, but the people don't look like him there. I'm telling you. But anyway, so this scene where you see behind it, where you see... Let's get this a little bit larger.
Please.
Do you see where he's in the water? Wait, why is it just... Oh, wait, let me have you... Let's have your face in it, too. Those shoulders, the traps...
Yeah.
I didn't think I was into traps.
Oh, I am.
Girl... I just remember I was doing some sort of chores and I'm like, what the...
in the background coming out of the water. Yeah, the traps.
And he's a bad guy. And he's all just like...
Did you know that was a reveal, right? He was a doting good guy who couldn't do anything right.
But then it turns out he's the bad guy. And then there's
It's
one
like
part
the
where she's
opposite
just,
of Good Place.
he's just like, you can be as powerful as you want. And she's like, but that's going to the dark side. And he just goes, oh, semantics. And I'm like,
Ooh.
boing! I mean, if there's anything I like more than a hot himbo, it's a sexy villain with huge biceps.
Yeah. Huge.
Whoever was casting
literally
this,
killer biceps.
they said that this part was specifically written for him. And these people know what they were fucking doing. He is
exactly
so
what
hot. He is now, I mean, he's once again, he's in my top 5 of hottest guys ever.
Oh, he's back in. Welcome back, man.
Welcome back.
Our collective top 5.
Who am I going to bump out? Pedro Pascal? Maybe.
I think so. Too gay.
Manny Jacinto needs to do a gay role.
He
I know people
really-
say,
I mean,
people
those
are
roles should go
saying,
to gay actors, EvilJeff.
people say the role should go to gay actors, but they forgot that I still want to see my favorite straight actors make out with other dudes.
Well,
So
there's that to consider.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized Jason Mendoza was all about pretending to be a monk, and then he was actually this D-bag from Jacksonville. And then this character, whose name I don't know, was all about being
pretending
something
to
of
be a
revealing.
monk.
Look at this. Is this why the part was written for him? Because of the Jason Mendoza?
Or
analog?
is it about me wanting to have sex with monks?
Oh, 100%.
You know, Friar Tuck from Robin Hood, he can get it. No, I don't know. Who played Friar Tuck in the Robin Hood Disney movie? That was a bear, right? No.
Oh, I'm not sure, but wasn't it Christian Slater or was he Will Scarlet in the Kevin Costner one? He was Will Scarlet. Never mind.
I never saw the Kevin Costner Robin Hood.
Christian Bale. I mean, I'm sorry, it's Christian Slater. Christian Slater is very sexy in that as Will Scarlet.
And once again, because family members could ruin things for me, my mother and sister were so obsessed with the song from that Kevin Costner Robin Hood.
Bryan Adams.
The
song.
Bryan Adams. I'll die for you. I refused to even see the movie because I was like, fuck that song. Fuck Bryan Adams.
Your audio just got real hot. You better watch it, boy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's hot. It's a hot mic.
Why is it that my audio is either loud as fuck or you can't hear me?
You're like too hot or too cold. You're like Tempest of the new X-Men lineup.
Oh, coming out next week.
Can't wait. Our your favorite review is going to happen on this show next week. I'll tell you that right now.
Why?
Well, because we're the best at talking about the X-Men.
Oh, I thought you meant like me particularly.
No, I
was
meant
like,
the audience.
I don't give a shit about what you have to say.
I meant the
Brett.
audience who we address every once in a while.
Right. All 10 viewers. Woo!
All 10 of you. Woohoo!
Can we just keep him up the entire time?
I would love that.
he's
I
so
am mad at
fucking
him, though,
hot.
because he killed off the character of Yord, who was played by Charlie Barnett, who is a friend of a friend, who my good friend Jamie went to high school with him, and they were friends.
You know,
in high
he
school.
didn't really kill him, though. It's a show.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's not real.
So here's what happened with Charlie Barnett. He came to my theater once when I ran that theater in Chicago, and he came to see a show, and I never heard of him before.
And you were like, you want a pot? Drop your drawers.
He was on Chicago Med at the time. I had no idea. I'd never watched it. Or Chicago Fire. And he walks in there, and he was the hottest looking man I'd ever... I was like, who the fuck is this? And I thought he was so straight because he was just giving such jock energy. And then he was sitting in the audience. I was sitting behind him. I wasn't in the show. And I see him put his arm around the guy next to him. I'm like, he's gay?
Yeah,
he's gay.
Because he's in Russian Doll, right?
Yes, he's in Russian Doll. Yes.
He's
so then
a
my friend
homosexual.
Jamie introduces us.
Did you sleep with him?
So
Can
then
you say it on the pod?
We're talking outside. No, I didn't. I ruined it. We're talking outside, and he's like, me, you, your husband, and my boyfriend should go on a double date. And I was like, absolutely. I'll hit you up on Facebook. Not like, can I get your number? One of my classic, let me play it so cool that I actually push this person away moves. I was like, I'll catch you on Facebook. Forgetting I'm like, not even friend. I'm friends with like his fan page. Oh God. And I just never heard from him again.
Well,
I reached out. He probably never saw my note. He's probably like, fuck that guy.
You fucked up.
Fuck that queer. Doesn't think I'm sexy. I do.
Shall we move on to the next thing?
Oh, please.
How about we talk about we're talking about shows, right?
We're going to talk about TV next, and we're going to
Okay.
start with The Boys, episode 6.
What you watching? Is it me naked? No? Oh, fine.
Oh, there he is.
What is this? Oh,
this
that's
is
him. Oh my
Jack
God,
Wade.
it doesn't even look
Make
like
that bigger.
him.
Make that bigger.
Let's make it bigger.
It's pretty damn sexy.
This show,
This show has gone off the rails.
it's
a
gone
wee
off the
bit.
rails. And I just want to
wee
first,
bit.
I want to talk about, can we talk about the reveal for the big twist?
Spoilers for The Boys, episode 6. Talk about whatever you want.
Okay, so I didn't bring it up the last episode, but something happened in the previous episode that I didn't bring up last week, but I was like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is never in a scene with another person.
I called
And
it.
so this morning, or I didn't say this morning, this latest episode, the next scene, it was also, he's just with that other guy,
He's
but
not
then the
even-
other guy never talks to him, and I was like, oh, it's in his
Not
head.
even touching the cart. Like he
Yeah,
was-
it's all in his head. And so when they got to that reveal, I was like,
Meh.
really, we're doing a Fight Club reveal?
Right.
At the end, I felt like that's a mid-episode reveal because it's not what,
mean, it was
and
so
they held it for the end. That he's like, what? Like, no,
Right.
no.
It's a season that's kind of light on story.
They don't know what to do with it. Everybody has like a trauma that they're trying to like figure out. But none of them are really interacting with each other. Like Frenchie sends himself to jail, won't talk to anybody.
The Boys has always suffered from this, but it's just a show where the characters do not share information with one another, and things would be so much more enjoyable and engaging and fruitful if characters shared information with each other.
Yeah. And let's just talk about here. There's Huey there. Huey has to dress up as the Spider-Man character
Web
to
Weaver.
go to the Batman character's house. And apparently they're just doing, first of all, so I forget that the Boys could just mix universes like that. It doesn't matter because like having a Marvel
Marvel and
character
DC
and a
nowadays,
DC character, of course they're going to fuck each other. But Huey ends up getting graped. Can I say raped on here? Yeah, this is
Let's
a
say graped.
TikTok.
Yeah.
He gets graped, and I'm just like, why? Like,
Yeah.
there. And I've said this
After-
before. This show, it tries to shock you first. It's the first thing they're trying to do is shock you, but I think they always backed it up with really funny and fun stuff happening. And now that the plot isn't really plotting, the shocking stuff, you're just like, what? His dad just died and now you're going to do this to him? Like, but for what? For what?
Like,
You
could
don't
we
need
wait
for the character
a day?
development of, no, you don't. I mean, I just don't.
Let's wait one day before we put Huey through another trauma. After his father dies. After he euthanizes his father.
Yeah, and I guess it's like, I'm never one to say, you can't put that on TV. You can put anything on TV.
Sure.
But if it's not done well, then it starts feeling like, why did you do this? It's almost like this scene's there's not really a lot happening. Let's have some sexual violence. The funniest thing still for me is Sage.
Sage is still the funniest thing. To me, the best character is Victoria Newman. She is giving me the moments that I'm like, yes, okay, that's hilarious or smart or whatever. But yeah, a lot of that is her relationship with Sage.
Yeah, and also I think they've lost the plot where, if you remember, the whole point of the Boys is they hate all soups, but now their two best friends are two soups. So the plot of like what they really are standing for is a little
Well,
foggy.
I think one thing I did like is like I think Butcher realizes that When,
But I think it would be way more interesting if all of them were having to come to terms with that, not just that character.
not just Butcher in his head, like talking to his imaginary dead wife. Yeah. Yeah, it's the thing I still hold the thing they need to do is get rid of Homelander. Like the whole show is just like, we want to kill him, we can't kill him. We want to kill him, we can't kill him. It's just that cycle over and over, and it's boring. Take the major variable off the table and see, like, take the main Jenga piece out and see.
I mean, I really do think it needs to be Homelander gets killed and then his son is saved, but then the son is kind of like
a little
like, is he going to be the new big bad?
Yeah. And they even have the line in this episode, like, you're going to kill one Homelander only to replace him with another. You know, so they're at least like aware of.
Did you see Brightburn?
I refused. It just was a little too dark for me.
It didn't make any sense. Like, he literally, because that's when we're a kid, it's like if Superman was evil. The kid is literally normal, but then he finds out that he's an alien. He finds the spaceship, and then the spaceship's like, you have to kill and take over the world. And then he's like, okay. And then he just starts killing everybody. And I was like, there was literally no...
It felt like there was nothing redeeming.
There was no, but there was also no character arc then, because then it was all meaningless. Okay. Anyway, so The Boys is kind of disappointing me, but Huey's looking cute.
He did have his breakdown at the end. The Boys is just, it's so middling. Like, something happen, please.
Yeah, and for me, it's like watching, I'm sorry, but like watching crazy graphic violence. It's not, you could easily Google that stuff and watch it and see real stuff. Like, why do I need to see that if there's no point behind it? There's just no, I don't know. Like, even the ice skating stuff, I didn't mind that because it was funny. Like, it was funny. Because it was funny. I don't know. Whatever.
The one thing that's working a lot for The Boys is their social media presence. Like, the Vought International Instagram page is hilarious. Like, they had something about the ice show having to like just shut down for reasons that are fine. You know,
is this the real Instagram page?
Yeah, it's their official Instagram. So it's adding that satirical corporate voice to all of the stuff happening in the show, and that is the most entertaining part right now. Is their stupid Instagram.
Fun.
But something else that's fun is another TV show, a new one.
Oh, really? Which one is it?
Oh, why don't you hit the next slide?
It's Extraordinary. How many episodes? I only watched the first 2. How many did you watch?
I've watched 4.
Oh, okay.
And can we do a 1, 2, 3?
Okay, yeah. You count.
1, 2, 3.
Loved it.
I love this show.
It's so good. Why is more people not talking about the show? How is this on the second season and we did not hear about it?
There's 2 seasons?
There's 2 seasons. It's on
I am so happy you recommended this. It has shot up to favorite show on television. It is hilarious and creative in a way that feels refreshing, having just talked about The Boys.
Yeah.
Because this is a universe of rampant superheroism. In fact, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, just like how The Boys is like, what if superheroes really exist? This is kind of like, what if mutants really existed? What if you got powers at the age of around 18? You got powers. And it all focuses on one girl who does not have powers.
It's bigger than if mutants existed because everybody on Earth.
Oh yeah, everyone has a power.
Every single person has a power except our main character. She's the only woman on the planet, only person on the planet.
And she is just riddled with low self-esteem.
Insecurity.
And it's such a hard part to play, and this actress is really
She's
good.
Killing it.
Wait, I have the cast up here.
Good.
What's her name? Oh shit, it's an Irish name.
Oh, damn it.
I'm saying Myri Tears, but I know I know that's not how it's pronounced.
Apologies to Myri. Apologies for that too.
I'm so sorry.
Well, she plays Jen, the main character in Extraordinary, the only powerless girl on the planet, and rapidly one of my favorite characters on TV right now.
And it's just like, if anything can go wrong, it just fucking goes wrong.
And it's a hilarious. It's kind of a sitcom format. They're 30-minute episodes, and it sets up these unfortunate events so well. It really, it's like The Quiet Place, the nail sticking out of the stairs. It's like, oh, you know that's going to happen at some. It just is so good about setting up these misfortunes that happen to these characters. So it's Jen, and then there are more. Her friends with powers.
Yeah, there's a girl named Carrie, and Carrie can basically, she's the one character from Umbrella Academy. She can commune with the dead.
Yeah.
But I love how they're like, oh, I know how to cheer you up, and she communes with Hitler. And they're like, gay people, gay marriage is legal. And he's like, oh, no.
I also called, and major spoilers of this first few episodes. Oh, maybe you haven't seen that yet. I'm so sorry.
No, I have. I know. No, I know. About the dad.
Yeah,
the dad.
Like that was clear.
That was in the first. I thought that was in the first episode.
Maybe the second. It was clear that her father was not real. Somehow.
I guess that too. The way it was all happening, it was like he would be there, or she would be talking to him on the video. Yeah,
but you don't. You only hear him on the phone. Turns out her roommate Carrie channels her dead father, and then speaks to her on the phone.
Yeah, because also her family. Her mom is remarried, and then there's like her stepsister is just like, her half sister is like such a bitch and just is like, I'm better than you. And it shows on her 18th birthday, she immediately gets crazy superhuman strength, and she's like
great power.
It's also just, this is the whole thing, is like, she's like goes to this birthday party being like, well, you're not going to get your powers right away. She gets her powers right away, ripping the door off the fridge, and everyone's like, woo! And then it just cuts to her, and she's like, is that no one going to mention that she broke the fridge? Like, right. I just love the joke writing is really, really strong.
The joke writing is really, really smart. I wish I could think of examples. There were I was laughing out loud watching these 4 episodes. The best part though, the mom, her power is the funniest thing. Yes. It is the best concept. Her
mom can communicate with technology. She's a technopath. But because it's an iPhone, she doesn't know how to use an iPhone, so she doesn't know what she's doing.
Because she's a mom, she doesn't know how to use technology. Like, even with the TV, she was just like, so she just keeps, like, anytime she needs to use her powers, she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing because she doesn't understand how the technology works. She's like, it's so funny.
And then Cash, the other roommate, he can rewind time back.
Oh my God, favorite.
By 7 minutes. I heard there's a full episode more dealing with him that I have not seen. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
He has a major plot arc that winds up happening. He's pulling together this team of vigilantes, so that brings in a whole other cavalcade.
Yeah, but he can only go like 10 minutes back in time or something.
Yeah, he can't go that far back. But he's like basically a walking do-over. Like, if something bad happens, he'll just rewind and do it over with the knowledge.
Yeah, and then of course, I called it too. This cat shows up, and I was like, "That's a person." And of course, there's a cat, and they decide to jokingly name the cat Jizz Lord,
because the cat jizzes on. There's the character who can make you orgasm through touch. And so the cat touches that guy's face, and then the implication is that the cat then jizzed all over the guy's face.
And also, I just love that the main character, her name in the show is Jen. She like goes on a blind date with a guy that could just make people come, and the whole time she's like, and he's like, "Don't fucking touch me." And so it's so funny.
It's like, it's important that I can do it myself.
She's sleeping with this really hot guy that can fly, that doesn't like her. Do you know who this character is? This character is clearly another character from another great movie.
What? Who?
This is Kristen Wiig's character from Bridesmaids.
Oh, I was gonna say the Bridesmaids thing earlier with the sister. Like, she broke the fridge, right? That is so like
a thing. Like, yeah, I would say if you liked Bridesmaids, the comedy is very, very similar to this.
Yes.
It's so fucking funny. I love it.
It's so good. And like the guy that plays the cat, the guy turns out, big sport. I can't tell you that one either. But as he sort of adjusts to living as their roommate,
But I love that
Like,
after
bits
he
and
doesn't
bits.
remember his name because he's been a cat for so long.
Well, yeah, you
and
did
they
see
keep
that, right? He realizes he's been
and
a
they
cat for
keep
3
but they
years.
keep calling him Jizzlord.
Just Lord, 'cause they
Even
don't know
as a
his name.
human.
But as he's like trying to adjust to relearning how to be human after being stuck as a cat for 3 years, the comedy well of just like his fish out of water existence is deep.
Yeah, it's a really, really smart show. And I just remember people being like, this show on Hulu is amazing. And I
had never heard of it.
but I was like, oh, it's on Hulu. I don't, whatever.
Like big recommendation.
It's so fucking funny. It's so funny. My sister told me she had binged it in a day and was great.
I could have watched the whole thing if we didn't have to do the show. I would have kept watching it. I might do that after and hop back on and talk about more episodes. Bonus. Anything more we want to say about? There's actually another show I wanted to ask you about.
Okay. Is it on a slide?
It isn't because it just came to me.
Oh, okay.
But have you watched? Take that slide down.
Take the slide. Take
Look
that
at me.
fucking slide down.
Look me in the eyes. Phantasmos. Have you gotten there yet?
No, I haven't. Shh. I will. I know I'm not going to be able to finish Los Spooky season 2. I kind of wanted to watch that, then Problemista, then watch Phantasmus.
Like Los
but I
Spooky's,
haven't yet.
That's not his creation. You know, like he was like an actor in that. Like
He helped write. I think he helped write
Oh,
it.
did he? I'm sure he did.
But I was going to see Problemista because I still need to see Problemista.
I just watched it.
But
just
you know me and Tilda Swinton.
I know, but I like this trans actress Martine who plays his agent in Phantasmus and has my favorite cameo in Problemista. Like, I need to have a conversation about this.
Okay, I will watch it. I'll watch it this week. I'll watch it this week and we can talk about it because, what's his name? Julio Torres, is that his name? I think he is like the top tier of like comedy writers that are out right now.
I just saw him live in Brooklyn a few months ago.
His stand up. If you want was it an HBO special or a Netflix special? Whatever, which one? It was a couple years ago.
I think he did HBO.
It was like me talking with objects or something. It was brilliant. It's brilliant. He's so funny.
Like, so Phantasmos is vignettes. It's essentially a sketch comedy. It's like long form, thoughtful sketch with a framing device. A lot of it is his stand-up material. So things that like the empty Gatorade bottle, the letter Q, like a lot of those bits that he does in his specials, he's turned into these wonderful vignettes. Oh.
Yeah, he has that one, which is the fact that he got Tilda Swinton to be in his thing. He's like, see, this is just a regular crystal. But if I put 4 crystals, it looks like Tilda Swinton's living room. I fucking love him.
He opened his stand-up with, if you like call it, he was on a stool. He opened it with, we would just like call out colors, and he would do an impression of like what that color would be like as a person, and I was like doubled over. It was the weirdest thing, and it was so beautiful.
He's great.
Anyway, comic books. This is going to be a short episode, kids.
We're 35 minutes. We're like 30 minutes in.
All right, good.
We're doing okay.
I
guess we should talk about comic books. X-Men comic books?
X-Men comic books.
It's mutants with powers, Omega for hours. Bitch, let's read some X-Men.
You lied to me. It's a game.
Oh, it's a game. I forgot. Oh my god.
Hey, Fudge Packer, it's game time.
I'm such a stupid fudge packer.
Wow.
Well,
if I had a weird... so this is... If we were on the show Extraordinary...
If we were on the show Extraordinary and we showed up as some, like, hilarious cameo character, what...
here's what mine would be.
What would our power be?
I would be an empath, but it would only work when I farted because my farts would smell different depending on what people were feeling. So it'd have to be like, are you... You're mad. Like that would be one. I think that would be my power. What about you? What would you do?
I think my power would be to know, like, retail wise, like which how somebody can get the best deal. Like if they're like searching for a vacation, or if like a product or a subscription service or a gym, I would just be able to know how to get the most bang for your buck.
Okay. Now, I think these powers are still useful. I think we now need to think of something that is
Something
not
like-
helpful.
Gotcha. Something like Meg's fingernail from Family Guy.
Wait, what was that?
Did you see that Family Guy when they all had powers, and then Meg's power is that she can make her nails grow like a few centimeters. And then
Oh, yeah,
only
I do
only
remember
that
that.
far, and then go back down. Okay, so a useless superpower.
Here's a useless superpower. You know how your elbows are really...
Yeah.
Mine it could just stretch really, really, really extra long.
Oh,
But
wow.
not enough that you could really like do anything with it.
All right. My useless superpower would be that every time I go to throw something into something, I just miss. But then the person I'm with will always say, "Here, let me try," and they'll always get it.
So it only works when you're playing like basketball or
Like wastebasket
or throwing
basketball?
something into a wastebasket.
Yeah, I'll always miss, but I will. My power is actually to give that person the gift of confidence for a moment, because they'll always get it.
Yeah, or here's something. Here's my gift. My gift would be that I always. This is actually a power that I have now. As soon as I am introducing a friend to a new person, I forget their name.
Oh,
Because that is a current power that I actually have.
wow. You're Omega level at that, actually.
Where it's like, oh my God, John, come here. I want you to meet. This is my best friend in the entire world. I've known them for 20 years.
Oh, see, you know what? This is another example of you and I being like universally tethered, in that I'm on the opposite end. I feel like I'm paying the price for your power, in that I'll always be like, Kevin, what's going on? We met 6 months ago. And they'll be like,
Oh, nobody remembers you. Oh, no one fucking remembers me either. Although I did have, I had a Grinder person message me, and they were like, do you direct porn? And I was like, a long time ago. And then he was like, hey, it's me. And I'm like, so I'm talking like, this is now like 10 years ago. And I was like, whew, did not remember. This is someone that I had sex with and I don't remember. Do you think am I a whore?
I was going to say sociopath.
Oh, no, let's go with whore. I think
Okay.
whore is nicer.
See, darling, you are
a
sociopath.
whore. You are doggy chow. Actually,
Didn't you just drop your
Showgirls and Sensibility, a Jane Austen version of the movie Showgirls, starring James Mansfield. Oh, and WoW Presents Plus. Drag me to the movies, people.
Wow Presents Plus people?
But anyway, but now I tend to let people, I let the person that's being introduced go, hey, I'm this person. Like, I now just don't
they never
introduce.
do. They
Because
never
then that person will have to say their name.
They never do, though. They're like, hi.
What's another useless power that I could have?
Oh, I can turn any beverage into a more watered down and therefore enjoyable version of that beverage.
Oh, that's terrible. I would have like the Jesus turn more water into wine, but it's always like $3 Chuck. It's always crap wine. That gives you really bad hangovers.
I can add one more topping to the sandwich or burger that you're eating.
Oh, here's a cool power. I actually can come up with, I can invent anything I want, get an idea to invent the cure to anything, but the only way I can do it is by slitting somebody's throat.
Oh, gosh. Okay, we've just entered like philosophical moral dilemma, not weird.
And it has to
superpower.
be a baby. Okay. All right, okay. Are we allowed to talk about the X-Men now?
Yes, now.
Okay.
It's mutants with powers, Omega for hours. Bitch, let's read some X-Men.
I want to X you up, Brett.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me
It's
bend over.
it's slim pickings. I think there was another book about Wolverine, The Life of Wolverine, and I didn't read it.
I didn't read it either. I have it. I didn't read it. It had like Krakoan dressing on it in terms of the logo.
But then it was like, but then I read that it were like, here's the brief history of Wolverine's life. I'm like, no thanks. I'm not even reading the Wolverine Blood Hunt. Are you reading that?
No, I actually am not, because I've seen Wolverine fight vampires. Like, I want to see Psylocke fight vampires. You know what I mean? You know what the best part of Blood Hunt is for me so far? There's a book called Blood Hunters. It's called Blood Hunters or Blood Hunts. It's one of those offshoot vignette books of like a third of it is about how Doctor Doom is faring in the vampire shit. But they have some pull through from issue to issue. And what turns out one of our best vampire hunters in the Marvel Universe is Dagger. And there is so much Dagger.
But wasn't Cloak? Didn't something happen to Cloak when this all happened?
The Dark Force was taken over, so all the Dark Force wielders are like, "Whoa!"
But is he dead, or is he just like?
No, he's like a portal to the Dark Force that he has no control over. He's like in the sky with Dark Force pouring out of him constantly,
like the baby son from the Teletubbies,
or the 13 babies in Inferno.
Right. Well, that sucks.
That sucks for him, but Dagger thriving.
Dagger
And
is ready.
Guess who she's teamed up with? Elsa fucking Bloodstone.
Oh,
Girl,
yeah.
it's Elsa Bloodstone and Dagger fighting.
Yeah,
vampires. It's kind of great.
I love it. I love it. I love Elsa Bloodstone. I mean, you know how I feel about the Wolfman Disney show.
And that actually is a one shot that dropped. I haven't read it yet, but there is a Werewolf by Night Blood Hunt that I'm very excited about.
Was that what it was called? Werewolf by Night, the show too? I just called it Wolfman because I'm old and don't remember
that's the one with
anything.
Benicio del Toro.
Right. We have X-Men Blood Hunt Psylocke.
Sorry, pause. Do you remember
Yes.
that when they tried to do that dark universe with like the new Mummy and Tom Cruise and
Tom
Benicio
Cruise
del
had the
Toro,
Mummy,
Wolfman,
and it was such a flop they just dropped the entire thing. Yeah, they were going to do Mummy, Dracula. That was going to be the big new MCU.
Isn't there going to be a new theme park? What is it? Epic Universe? And isn't Dark Universe one corner of it? Do we know about
Probably.
this?
I mean, that would be fun rides.
Fuck yeah.
I love the Mummy ride, but that's the movie, The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser one at Universal Studios.
Like, once in my life, can I go to like Dracula's castle? Can I go to a place like Galaxy's Edge was great. It was like, oh my god, I'm in Star Wars. I want to be in Dracula.
Speaking of Dracula, this is my partner Joe insulted me. We were watching. Oh, remember I talked about all of these dating shows? There's a Korean dating show. There's a Japanese dating show. There's a British dating show. There is also the second season called Sparks Camp of a Filipino dating show that just came out after we did the podcast. So I started watching it, and I'm trying to, because Joe is not very good at teaching me Tagalog, and I try to watch it and repeat phrases to try and get the accent down. And then he was like, whenever you try to do a Filipino accent, you sound like Dracula. I was like, go fuck yourself. How dare you? So I'm like, blah, give me an ube cake and some lumpia.
Wow.
Anyway,
X-Men
this is I liked it.
I loved it.
I will say it did bring up, speaking of the boys, I do question, and I brought this up before, of Grey Crow.
Oh, like how we got over it all of a sudden?
How we just pretended he didn't murder a bunch of children. He's like a kid murderer. Why do we not care about that?
Right.
I just wish it would be addressed.
And like there was never, like he's addressed it, but he's never been taken to task for it.
Because also, and I think there could be a moment of addressing that his name was Scalp Hunter, and they're like, that's racist. So we're now going to call him Grey Crow. That's a moment in the comics
Did any of this come up in Hellions at all?
I think it was like him struggling with like, maybe I do want to be a good guy, but I don't think he never came to terms with, they're like in the fall of the mutant massacre, it's literally little 4-year-olds like, no, and he's like like killing 4-year-old toddlers. Like, I do wish there was just something, because I have to like just step out of my head of like, okay. It's the same thing when Cassandra Nova was like on the team with Kitty Pryde, and you're like, she's killed millions of people. Like, it's just things like that where I'm just like, this is a little, you just have to like forget things. But okay, whatever. Conan and Grey Crow are fucking in Japan, and they're having a good old time.
Having a great time. And then the blood hunt.
The blood hunt comes. And the thing that I really liked about this, I thought the art was really good, and it reminded me a lot of what's his name? Ito. What's his first name?
Ito.
Junji Ito.
Yeah, immediately. Like the first few pages with the scissors demon, I was like, this is very Ito.
It looked very similar to this kind of stuff. And so as soon as you have Junji Ito, I'm like, Do you know that they made did you know that they made a cartoon on Netflix of it?
Yeah,
of his short stories.
I haven't watched it yet. We should watch.
They're very creepy, and they're currently making now the Spiral one. I don't remember. I don't know. It's the translation of whatever the word spiral is, and it's basically a town where they get addicted to spirals and all start going insane, just looking at spirals. And I just saw a preview of what they're working on, and it's all in black and white. And it looks amazing, and it looks really scary. I'm excited.
The two that stand out the most, and I don't know, do they handle these two in the series? Is the versions of everybody has like the
balloon head? That is like the first episode, bitch. Yes. Oof.
And then
it's fucking creepy.
Everyone finds the hole shaped like them. And
I can't remember if that was one.
Oh my god.
Oh, and then they go into the hole. As someone who has claustrophobia, the idea of like, Anyway. No. Blood Hunt. This is really fun because what happens is now that all of the vampires have come out, all of the Japanese monsters have also come out too with them. And so they're not just battling vampires, they're battling all of these creepy Japanese
which is such a good concept. Like,
especially really the one is just walking around with giant scissors with the lower half of her mouth missing, just chopping people's heads off. Oh.
Am I pretty? Asking them, am I pretty? Crazy. I mean,
oh my God, that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me after 50. My
girl.
I'm gonna tell you my midlife crisis. Am I pretty?
Giant pair of scissors.
Yeah.
The one panel of her being like, "Oh, blood is being shed," a great deal of it, like her sensing all of the chaos happening. Even the way that's drawn is just so gorgeous. It was just a very different approach to an X-Men story. It was a very Ito-inspired approach, and I just was like, woo, flipping through.
And it also makes me realize, why is the new Ultimate X-Men, where is Conan in all of this? Why is Psylocke not in it? They're taking all the Japanese characters.
Was there a choice to go with, since this universe is about Maker never let the Marvel Universe happen, and now it's finally happening and it's catching up to itself? Like, was there a choice to use those later generations of mutants? So, like, no original characters, they all got skipped. Now it's about the new X-Men characters. It's about armor. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, I feel like, I don't know.
Like, it's not Storm, it's May Storm.
But in this world, Conan would have never left Japan. She would have stayed there.
Well, I love Conan.
But here's the other thing. Did they ever establish like whether she was also a mutant?
She is. Yeah.
But did she just happen to, so did they establish she just happened to have the exact same power set?
Yeah, I think like she was always telepathic, but I wonder, like the butterfly stuff, I think that was from being intermingled with Betsy.
Oh, speaking of, I have been looking, I want to get an X-Men t-shirt because you have so many cool X-Men t-shirts.
And WandaVision.
Oh, nice. I love that. I want to get one with just the butterfly effect.
Oh, I love that. You should. Can we make those? Like,
I
are we
know,
allowed
right?
to?
I don't. Yeah, please, these people. They're like.
All those other
We
fucking
can just
shows
say
do
it's
it.
purple jizz. It's not the butterfly effect. They
It's
wouldn't
purple
know.
jizz. We can say that about our show.
Here's
All right,
another thing
so-
I want to bring
yeah.
up with Psylocke.
Yeah.
Remember when her and Jean Grey just switched powers?
Yeah, during the like revolution when they did that 6-month time jump.
And then they never talked about it ever again. But now both of them have both powers.
Right.
Because Psylocke never had telekinesis.
Wait a minute. They're giving everybody telekinesis. Okay, so like Xavier
Xavier has
they
telekinesis.
very much leaned into him having. You know who's showing telekinesis is Sophie Cuckoo in the NYX previews. She's lifting books.
So, I guess that means Emma Frost
And
can
we've
do
seen
telekinesis?
Emma. We've seen
When
Emma
did
use
Emma do it?
telekinesis.
When?
I can't cite, but it's happened. It's happened. Listen.
Yeah, so I guess the story is if you are a telekinetic or telekinesis or telepathic,
Be patient.
you can access both of those things.
Absolutely.
That is my ultimate power that I would want. Is telekinesis.
Telekinesis?
I
Oh,
do
God,
not
yeah.
want telepathy. I don't want to know what people are really thinking.
No, I would kill myself if I
Yeah.
knew what people were thinking about me.
I
like, when
already
watched
think
the
that
show.
I already think people think terrible things about me. If I found out it was true,
People say terrible things about me to my face
yeah, exactly.
all the time.
Yeah. And then you have to look and you're like, oh, they
I don't
really
need
meant
telepathy. Ooh.
that. I would need to find my own
I-
Scott who's just
I
an
just
idiot
want-
and doesn't think anything.
If there was a power genie and the power genie was like, what power do you want? I'd be like, you know what? Just make it cunty. I just want something cunty.
Like but are you now thinking like some sort of weapon? Like
I
a
just want it to
flashy
be cunty.
weapon?
I just want it to be cunty. I don't care.
I see for me, but I don't just want telekinesis. I want like acute ease telekinesis. I want that thing where I can just go like that
Oh.
and like a whole building flies away.
Oh, see.
But I can also control it where I could do this and then at my spoon will stir the tea.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like you can't have both. Like you
And then
can't-
I could just do this and like telekinetically masturbate myself where it doesn't feel like I'm touching myself with my hand.
I bet telekinesis, like I would be all over my prostate with that shit.
Oh my God. You could just form a bubble inside.
Just like constantly.
Have you ever used those ones where you pump it and make it bigger after you stick it in?
No.
I don't believe you. The way you answered that.
You didn't even let me finish.
Oh, we should get that lie detector test thing. Have you ever seen
lie-
those where you ask a question
lie
and it'll buzz
detector
you?
test?
It will buzz you if it lies.
Oh, come on.
I want to do that with you.
Okay, fine.
Have you ever killed a guy?
We can do that. There was something else I wanted to say about Psylocke, and I can't fucking remember. She's great. She's great. And Betsy, what do you think she's going to be calling herself in X-Force?
I mean, is she still Captain Britain? Why would she not? Did she
I don't know. Is
take?
she still? I feel like she's like, fuck this.
I know it's so weird because she's been Psylocke. Here's okay, and I'm asking you this like you're not going to answer it immediately. Who named her Psylocke?
Like what character or what?
Yeah, she was named it.
Oh, Jesus.
Mojo.
Oh, I didn't know. I never knew that.
In the
Mojo?
New Mutants annual.
Mojo named her Psylocke.
In the New Mutants annual, remember it's that
In that
crazy
Doug
TV
Ramsey?
show? And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
crazy TV show, and they're like, and I'm Psylocke. That's the first time she was ever called Psylocke.
Oh shit.
She was never called Psylocke in the Captain Britain. She was just Betsy.
It's a weird name, Psylocke.
Yeah.
Where'd it come from? Is it a take on something?
I think it's like psychic. Like I have a lock on your psychic
that's
powers. I told you, I brought this up before, but it's been a while. I told you because I love Psylocke. I told you when I created myself as a telepathic, when I wrote my own superheroes, what my character's name was.
What was it again?
Manect. For mind connection. Manect.
Stop.
Monnect. And I thought of it while playing a game of Connect 4, and I saw the Connect, and I was like, why are they not hiring me? I'm 10 years old, and I'm brilliant.
That is the origin story that Manect deserves. Like, how did you think of it? I was playing Connect 4.
And I eventually wrote it, but then when I wrote a comic of it, I made it a female villain, because that's what I wanted to be. And there's a part I wrote an actual comic and drew it where Manect was trying to break in. The good guys were called the Power League, and that was like the X-Men or Avengers or whatever. And Manect, in order to sneak in to their force, to their base, there were 2 guards, and she dresses up as an old blind lady with a little can.
No, a can.
And I swear to God, I'm 10 years old, and I wrote this. And she wrote, collecting body parts for the blind. And then they go, whose body parts? And she goes, yours, babe. And then she shoots, her telekinesis shoots Chinese stars at them. And then they're like stuck to the wall. And then she like takes off the costume and saunters in. 10 years old.
Oh my God. Babe was your bitch at 10 years old.
I also love how she was like, I'm going to pretend I'm an old blind lady collecting body parts for the blind.
You're psychic lady, just like...
I love how she doesn't use her psychic powers at all.
That is like, instead she's going to like rely on Bugs Bunny shenanigans. You're a telepath and telekinetic bitch, babe. Oh my God.
There was a mermaid character called Mermain, and I do remember there's one part where she's shooting water at someone, and it just says, you forgot Mermaid's powers rule.
We have to make this.
I know. I'm going to, you know what? Maybe for one episode, I'm going to like scan in some of the episode. I'll scan in some of the pages, and then we can just make fun of it.
Oh, yes, please. Oh my God.
Is that everything? Did we do it?
I think we did it.
We did.
Yeah. Ooh, scary. Take that down.
Ah!
Oh my God. We really did keep that Psylocke slide up big, that entire segment, though.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. People don't want to look at our faces.
That was for the best, trust. That should be the format of the show. Go back.
Yes. Well, take us out, Brett. Is there anything else we need to know?
Go home. Yeah, just that comic books should come with a warning label.
What would the warning, like a cigarettes?
Yeah, like cigarettes. It should be a big black warning label with big block white letters. And it reads, if you read comics, well, then that makes you queer.
Goodbye.
Night.